Oh God, I'm running a little bit late, but I'm sorry. I'm here. I am 5 minutes late. Apologies to everybody. Apologies to Kenton from EP09. And why do I dress like a lesbian biker while I'm in the gym? I don't know. I never thought I looked like a lesbian biker when I'm in the gym. I had a tank top on, shorts, and a bandana. I don't know. That is what it is, baby. I don't know what to tell you. That's my style. Protein fat. Sorry. And Xavier is joining us. All right, Xavier. Sounds good, man. Thank you. Oh, so we got a lot to talk about. Sam Sulik signs with fucking. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Sincerest apologies for running late, sir.
What the fuck, man?
It looks like Xavier's joining us from desktop, too.
Oh, okay. 15 minutes. So he'll be here in 30. Perfect.
Yeah. How you doing, man? How was the weekend?
Weekend was good. Pretty quiet. No shows happening, right?
No, I think we got. When's the next one? This next weekend, not this weekend. Next weekend, right? Is the next one?
Tampa. Yeah.
Tampa's turning out to be pretty good.
It is looking to be pretty good. Yep.
I'll be honest with you. As of right now, I'm. I don't know who else is in it, but Justin Shear looks pretty damn good.
You don't know who else is in it?
I know Justin Shear is in it. I know
Justin Shire. Yeah.
Shire. Sorry, whatever. I get it. Script everybody's name. Justin Shire.
Yeah, I know.
The big black dude from Canada.
The big black dude from Canada. Quint Beastwood. Yes.
Quentin Beastwood. Who looks great from the front, but not so great from the back, which is strange. And who else is doing? I think Bruno is doing it, right?
I mean, I don't know why I don't just tell you. Morgan McDonald is another one that's doing the show.
Really?
Yeah, Patrick Moore is also doing the show.
It's a waste. All right.
Amir Omaragic is doing the show.
Oh, that's interesting. That
is interesting, isn't it?
That makes things interesting. Yes, yeah.
He does not. Last update I saw, he is gonna have to work, and even when he does, I don't know, man. Anyway, we'll see. There's some good competitors though. John De La Rosa, Anthony Gell. I was just looking at Muscle Insight HQ. Stuart Sutherland, of course. Yeah, Beef Stew's doing it.
Oh, that's right. This is gonna be good. Beef Stew. Who has this?
Man. It's really good.
He has the strangest rear double buy I've ever seen in my life. It's almost like he's got hives.
You know, it's funny. You know, when you said about Quint Beastwood, about him not being very strong from the back and that being strange, it's actually not strange in this era of bodybuilding. There are more weak backs than I think anything else in any other muscle group within the IFBB, honestly. Across the board, right?
No, yeah, I get that. But what I'm saying is, like, if you look at his last updated pics, he's coming in great from the front, but he's still soft from the back. That's what I meant by being strange. I don't know if you saw the last update he did on his pics.
Yeah, okay, I get you. Look at Beef Stew's back lat spread, though.
Ridiculous. No, every shot on Beef Stew is amazing. Honestly, but that rear double buy is just strange. Like all the knottiness, it just looks like he's got a lot of bee stings.
I did a comparison between what he was at 2 weeks out of a show last year as compared to this year. I did it.
I watched it. Yeah.
So there's improvement, and that's the name of the game. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the name of the game.
No, Beef Stew's got a hell of a shot. De La Rosa has got a guy. You know, De La Rosa. Yeah. You don't sleep on De La Rosa. He's got his formula down. He knows how to come in sharp, and he's got enough muscle. So you can't sleep on him. Who else we got? We got
Bruno Santos. I mean, he defeated Nathan Diasha, and that's an accomplishment, you know.
Big time. Yeah, big time. Absolutely.
You have to give him a look at that point. I mean, he beat Nathan Diasha. I mean, You can't ignore him.
And a good Nathan Diaz. I mean, it was controversial, but he still got the placing over him. No question about it.
Yeah.
I hope Quentin Beastwood does well, because he's one of those bodybuilders that you're waiting for him to show up, if that makes sense.
Oh, of course. There's many bodybuilders we're still waiting for them to show up. Quint Beastwood is one. Carlos Thomas Jr. is another. Stefan Matala, for me, is definitely another. Regan Grimes is another. There's a list.
Yeah. And for some reason, I'm very much impressed with what's his name, Shear or Shire?
Justin Shire. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Justin Shire, especially from the front. You know, he's got these incredible V-taper with these flaring quads. Yeah, he just looks really great from the front. It's going to be interesting. These are the kind of shows that I like, because everybody's trying to get that W to get to the Olympia. And all the big names are already qualified. They're already qualified, right? All the big guns are qualified. You know, the Tonios and, you know, the Tabanis, and they're all, or Nick Walker, they're already qualified. But when you get the second tier guys that are trying to get to the Olympia, and they got to dig and work for it, it makes things really interesting for a bodybuilding show, especially this close to the Olympia, you know. And it's kind of like in the States we had Friday Night Fights, and on ESPN, and it was kind of like these guys that were pro boxers, but they were trying to make it on like HBO or Showtime, and they would beat the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? And you saw some real good talent. So this is how I look at it. Like, this is like second tier guys that are really, really trying to climb that ladder, and it is a lot of talent, and they're young enough where they could do it, with the exception of De La Rosa. De La Rosa obviously might be his last year or two, but he is another guy that, you know, you can't sleep on. When he comes in shape, he's difficult to beat, you know. So it should be pretty damn good. But beef stew is mostly, what does it say? Beef stew is mostly erectors and no lower lat.
No lower lats, yeah.
Looking at his lower back, and that's weird. I don't. Yeah, his every shot looks amazing on him. His legs are great, you know. He just has that strange. He's got a strange rear double bi, but his back lat spread is lights out. You know, I don't know. Let me call out some quick sponsors. I have 2 sponsors for the show now. So let me actually yell out.
All right, John's going to make his money for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to check the comment section on my latest video.
Okay, so Evolve Nutrition. Evolve Nutrition is a nutrition store, supplement store, located on 110 Route 10, East Hanover, New Jersey. The website is Evolve Nutrition, EHNJ.shop. So it's EVOLVE. NUTRITION EHNJ.shop 977-4625.
I'm not doing anything.
The best part is I have a discount code. So if you call them up, or if you just go online and order something, you put SS20, you get 20% off. And they actually deliver to all 50 states. And if you don't see something on that website, and you give them a call, they will buy some stuff for you, and they'll order it exactly for you. Now, the other one is actually a wellness clinic. Let's see. Where is it? It is, here we go, right here. Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. So Ideal Weight and Aesthetics is actually located. It is a med spa, weight loss, aesthetics, TRT, GLP-1 weight loss, facials, microneedling, blah, 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 blah. That is at 160 Lanza Avenue, Garfield, New Jersey. And the phone number to that should be, let's see, we should have a goddamn phone number somewhere. Come on, I was not prepared for Ideal
Your sponsors?
Aesthetics. Yeah, I wasn't. Usually I just run a commercial, but I actually don't have a commercial, so because this is live. But what I'm going to do is go on the website right now, and come on, give me a goddamn fucking, oh God, give me a goddamn there we go. Idealweightandaesthetics.com. And the Jesus Christ, what is the number, for fuck's sake?
I don't fucking know, John.
Yeah, I really screwed up big time this time, huh? But that's all right. We're gonna get it right now, and then we're gonna move on. Ideal weight and aesthetics. Well, they really just, there we go. Ideal weight and aesthetics. 732-436-1924. Okay, we got that. That's out of the way. All right. We got a lot to talk about, but I want to get to the elephant in the room. Last week or the week before was the Masters Nationals, and they hand out pro cards for over 50, over 60, over 70, and it's a little pathetic. I'm not one of these guys that yells and screams over too many pro cards, because I truly believe that the cream rises to the top anyway. But I just don't understand why a guy who's over 50, over 60, over 70 still wants to compete and get a pro card, and then do what after that? What are you going to do with it? Like, I understand John Hansen is a legend in the bodybuilding world, okay? And his reputation is solid in bodybuilding. But he doesn't look half of what he was, 20 years ago. And he finally got his pro card. I don't understand why he felt it necessary. Everybody knows who he is. He has a great reputation. I don't know, is that like your identity that you can't let go of? I don't get it. Because you got to understand when, and you understand this, Kenson, when you compete in bodybuilding, everything else falls by the wayside. Everything else comes second. You come first. The training, the diet, the supplements, the drugs, the food, the cardio, the posing. Everything is number one. Everything else comes second. Family, friends, so on and so forth. And when you're young and you want to do it in your 20s and 30s and possibly be able to make a career out of it, I get it. I did it in my 20s and 30s. But why do you want to put that first and put your family and friends and everybody around you, make that second now at 50, 60, 70? You probably have grandkids. What's the point? I don't understand the point of it all. And people say, well, if that's what they want to do, I get it. I get that that's what they want to do. But at what point do you decide that, look, this is not my identity anymore, and I should put my energy into something else? And I know John Hansen owns a gym, and I know he is, like I said, he has a great reputation in bodybuilding. But what was the point? He got his pro card, and now what? You really gonna do the New York Pro next year? You could do the Master Circuit, but nobody pays attention to the Master Circuit at all. At all. The only show that anybody does in the Master that anybody pays attention to is the Masters Olympia. There is a Master Circuit, but nobody fucking talks about it. Nobody even knows who competes in it. It doesn't get a blip on the radar. As a matter of fact, so much so that Dorian Haywood wanted to qualify to do the Masters Olympia. So he decided to do a Masters show because he knew he would win. He did a Masters show and he won. He won the overall. I mean, he won the whole thing. And do you know how much the prize money he got?
Probably very little.
$200. Mm-hmm. He got $200 and a trophy. And that's because they don't draw anything. Nobody's buying a ticket to go see a Masters show. There's no live stream for it. There's nothing. I don't I don't know. What do you think? What's your opinion? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So
why do you think he's a douchebag? Okay. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I'm a great fucking guy. Okay. The Masters circuit, like you said, nobody's paying attention. Not everybody is stepping on stage for attention from the masses. Not everybody's looking to get a pro card in order to, be extremely competitive at a high level. The people that do these shows, they know that it's not competitive, John. They or not that it. Sorry, competitive's the wrong word. They know that nobody's really paying attention. They're not doing it for that. And the other thing is, sometimes I feel like for me, like let's take for instance at this point in my life, right? I'm 37 years old. I have 2 kids. I have a business. I have this. I have things that I have to do. I couldn't even consider being any kind of competitive bodybuilder or anything else right now. Exactly. The times in your life that you can do it is when you are young with nobody else around you in order to establish it. If you get to a pro level, and then that obviously things change there, but you're either very young with no responsibilities and nobody that you need to answer to, or your kids are grown up, the bills are paid, you own your house, you've been with your wife for 25 years. Well, you know what? I've never actually done this thing. It's a timing thing. You got to think about it. A lot of these guys that go to compete that are Masters competitors, dude, one big difference between them and I would say the younger guys that do it is that they're probably not broke, dude. These guys are probably in the money already. They don't need the prize money. These are probably 60-year-old guys that are potentially, worth $1 million plus. I wouldn't be surprised at all with the amount of competitors out there, right? So at first, when I looked at this thing with John Hansen in particular, I was like, for 60, guy's ridiculous. When it comes to the playing field, he is very, very good, because although he is not half of what he would be, on any kind of pro circuit, obviously, competitively, compared to the average 60-year-old, he's ridiculous. He is fucking crazy, dude. I would see. I grew up going to a gym where the owner was older than me, we'll say, and was huge, dude, massive, even into his 50s.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, and you see that guy train. He's there training with people all the time, right? And I'm like, man, I wish I could just be like that guy when I'm that age. It's something to aspire to. I've gained I wouldn't say an appreciation, because, dude, I'm not going to follow it. I'm not. I'm following the top of the top, right, when it comes to bodybuilding. But I have an appreciation. You could do it.
No, yeah, I fully get it. But I've shifted my energy to this podcast and YouTube channel. One, because I know I could make some money doing it. And two, if it fills the bodybuilding void that I have by not competing. And I think it was an intelligent shift. And Jason Oz did the same thing after he retired. He put it into promoting and his supplement line. But
yeah, and he's doing fantastic.
Yeah, he's doing great. But also, what about health reasons? You start taking things like orals and tren and hardeners over 50, over 60, over 70, and that could be really, really dangerous. Your blood pressure from taking D-ball could skyrocket. I'm using a D-ball as an example. I don't know who took what. Tren.
Well, what do you think a guy like John Hansen was taking? What do you think John Hansen was taking?
I have no idea. I don't know. I can't even speculate. Speculate.
I agree that when it comes to the drugs in the Masters categories, they should be very, very mild, if really consider any, and I mean, you'd have to, if you're going to be any kind of competitive, I guess you'd have to do something. Ron Harris said that he wanted to consider competing in 5 more years after he goes through his shoulder thing and puts on a bit more size and things like that, right? But I actually asked him in that video, I was like, what would you do when it comes to a cycle? He's like, pretty mild. And I think that's probably the general consensus there. It'd be silly to see a dude that's just pumping it and they're like 60 plus. Be like, no way,
Yeah, no, I can't speculate what he was or what he wasn't doing, but I know your body doesn't bounce back. I know very low body fat at that age and very low sodium at that age is dangerous. Um, so you have the health issues. Okay. You also
Even
have,
beyond the drugs. You're right. Your cyst, like even beyond the drugs, it's very hard on you getting up to that. Like you're right. You are 100% right about that.
yeah. Your identity. If bodybuilding is your identity and it's still your identity, you have to do a little bit of soul searching, because it should not be your identity at over 40, over 50, over 60. You chasing that pro card, because it is now an identity that doesn't serve you or serve the people around you, right? And it kind of looks pathetic that you're holding on to a dream that that's not going to be able to serve you. People say, in your 20s you make mistakes, in your 30s and 40s you make your money, and after 50 you give back. And that's kind of how I try to follow life. These guys that are competitive bodybuilders that are over 50 and have been doing it for so long, they could. I'm not saying they don't train people, but they could train people. They could do interviews. They could start supplement lines, clothing lines, and they could find fulfillment in that, because it's kind of like watching your favorite athlete. You watch your favorite athlete, whether it be basketball or baseball or boxing, and you go, man, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this guy was unstoppable, and now look at him. He's just a shell of himself. It's kind of like when Kevin Levrone came back and did the Olympia. Like, why did you do that, dude? Like, we don't want to remember you like this.
Who fought Jake Paul?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. Right. Yeah.
Right. And it destroyed his reputation. And I kind of look at guys like that are chasing the
Chuck Liddell. That was another one. UFC.
Yeah,
should have quit 4 fights before he fucking retired.
Now I know it's even more dangerous. I get it, right? It's even more dangerous. But even when Jose Canseco was trying out in minor league baseball, 10 years after retirement, I don't know if you remember that. It just looked. It's like, dude, like, let it go. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult that your entire life. Like let's take Evander Holyfield for a second, right? Evander Holyfield has been boxing since he's 8 years old, and he just could not give it up. He couldn't give it up, and he was losing and getting knocked out by guys that were just fucking not even a quarter of what he was when he was in his prime. And I understand that's your identity, but there has to be this mental transition where you change your identity and you find fulfillment in other things, because number one, it's dangerous. Number two, it looks pathetic. And number three, it's selfish, because everything revolves around you. And it's like, wait a minute, you have family now, you have children, you have grandchildren. And even me, like, I know I could probably get a pro card if I did classic physique, right? If I did classic physique and went to the Masters, I could probably get a pro card. I'm just so past it. And I don't view myself as that being my identity anymore. This is my identity. The idea that I come on here and I talk to people like you, and we shoot the shit about bodybuilding, and we talk about the news, and we talk about the gossip, and so on and so forth. And my other podcast, same thing. Like, this is what I do now. And then I have, my regular life, my wife and my regular job, and so on and so forth. Where there was a point in my 20s and my 30s that I wanted to turn pro, and so on and so forth. But then I saw the handwriting on the wall, and I was like, it's not going to happen, and I know a perfect example. And, I know he's a friend, and I'm going to see him next week at Jason On's show, Muscle Beach. But Vinny Galante. Vinny is in his 50s, and he competes in the Masters circuit. And I know that he is a good Masters competitor. He's doing the Masters Olympia this year. But he's not half of what he used to be in his prime, And it's, you look at him and you go, okay, I understand you're enjoying yourself and this is what you want to do, but why can't you transition? Why can't you transition? Nobody wants to remember you like this. You know, if you look at Vinny Galante in his prime, like when he was competing in the USAs in the 90s, man, he had a beautiful physique. He was fucking, he could have been a classic pro champion today if they had that division. And now you look at him and it's just like, all right, I guess, you know, I know this is what you want to do and I know you're happy doing it, but you know, it screams selfishness. It screams, I can't change my identity. It screams like nothing else matters in my life except this thing. And that's not a fulfilling way to live your life, because if you're not fulfilled with it yet, you're never going to be, especially at 50 or 60 or 70, you know? I don't know. And it's just me. Maybe I'm fucking crazy, but that's how I look at it, man.
You know, it really doesn't, it's not really a necessary concern of mine. If it exists, I'm good with it. It's not something that I really pay a lot of attention to. I think people have their reasons for wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And look, you're right. Not everybody is going to get that eventually, no matter what it is, whether it be competitive bodybuilding or anything in life, eventually it's going to be, well, I can't do this anymore. Right.
Right.
And you can find other ways within bodybuilding to still remain in, like, go and be a judge or, you know, something like that.
So many things to, there's so many ways to be
absolutely.
So many ways to be involved. You know, don't
well, I mean, the list literally goes on and on. I mean, Dennis James started his own show, Branch Warren, William Bonac, Sean Ray, continue down the line. These guys all have their own shows. You know, Dexter Jackson, they're all giving back, you know,
right.
Like you said. Fouad Abiad, his brother is the one that told him, like, it would be a shame for you to take 20 years of bodybuilding knowledge and just, you know, waste it because he wasn't competing anymore. That's why he started that podcast, you know, and the supplement company. So if you really, really enjoy it, you really, really love it, you do get to a point eventually. I agree. If it's going to affect your health, then look, pull your head out of your ass. Okay. It's time to hang up the fins. Hang up the fins is a diving term, because eventually as a commercial diver, I'm going to get to a point I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. We call it hanging up.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's going to affect your health, like, come off it. Like, you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know why I the truth of the matter is, you know why I was thinking of it is because you're a lot younger than me. I'm going to be 50 next year, and I think to myself, why on God's green earth would I want to be back on that stage? That is not my life's work anymore. That's not what I want to accomplish. That's not my identity anymore. You know, I've transitioned to change, and I look at these guys and I go, why can't you do that transition? Do you know what I mean? And there's so, like you said, there's so many guys out there that do that transition. Now, again, look, I get it. If it makes you happy and this is what you want to do and so on and so forth, great. But you know, I can't believe that at 50, 60, or 70, if you're 50, 60, or 70, if you want to put yourself first and everybody else second, because that's what it takes to win a show, then that tells me you're a very self-centered person, because you should be putting everybody else first. You should be putting your grandchildren first, your children first, spending time with them. I mean, you know, enjoying retirement or giving back to the community, or even making money. Like, if you make money, you could give back, right? I mean, you could donate, you could just use your spare time for, and you could give back while making money. You could train people. You know, there's all different types, like we were talking about. I don't know. To me, it just kind of looks, maybe because I'm approaching 50, and I go, no, I would not want to put myself before anybody else anymore. In that sense, because when I was competing, dude, I couldn't. I wouldn't even touch my wife for a month in the bedroom, because my head wasn't into it. It was all about the gym, cardio, training, food, supplements, drugs. That was it. That was it. I wouldn't even take overtime at work. I can't stay. I got to go to the gym. Can't do it. And I just don't see the reasoning to do that at 50, 60, 70 years old, especially at that age. Fucking 50, 60, 70. Jesus. I quit at 35. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, John, maybe you just spent the last 30 years paying off your house and being there for your wife and burying 3 dogs and putting your kids through high school and doing all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And you want to do something selfish. Dude, entirely possible.
That's very true. Yes. Yo, Xavier, what's up, bro?
Yo.
Hey, I was right.
What's up, bro?
I was right. He said I was right. He said 15 minutes and it's fucking 31.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Just been busy.
We just gave our opinion. And I want your opinion. We just gave our opinion on what we think about the Masters, Nationals, and pro cards being handed out at 50, 60, 70 years old. And I heard
a bit about it, yeah.
I had my opinion. EP Kenton has his opinion. I want to know yours.
About guys like doing it in general, like is it a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, both. I mean, if you are one of the guys that say there are too many pro cards, then that's the first place you cut.
I guess the argument is that there's a Masters Pro, like I suppose circuit that they've got now. So they're catering to that and then having a Masters Olympia. So it's like they're going to have the natural side. And I think like Kenson said actually earlier, the fact that there are a lot of cashed up guys that don't care about paying the entry fee and the membership fee and all that sort of stuff, it's another way of making money. So it's like, if the money is going to be there, and I think a lot of guys are doing it. And I will say one thing as well, that hearing what that contest was like I think it was the teen nationals and the Masters Nationals, was it? Yeah, and it's combined. And Fareed Muhammad Asida, who won the bodybuilding and the classic physique in the teenage for both of them, he said like the camaraderie and how cool it was. I think like all the Masters guys and then the teen guys, like they're almost like taking them under their wings and stuff like that. And it just seems like apparently it's just a good vibe, the camaraderie was like really good there because all the teens are like excited, to do this sort of contest. And then all the Masters guys are, they're all chill and grateful at that stage. I don't think there's too many people with like attitudes. Like I think guys have let go of more of their ego by that age,
Yeah,
but in your 20s, you get a lot more of that. So I think the experience of doing it, they love it,
I'm sure they get the camaraderie is there. And, I do that. Like if there's young guys at the gym, and they want help, I love helping the young guys at the gym. I get it. But and if we're assuming that some of these guys that these guys, are sitting in the money and whatnot. I mean, number one, we don't know that all of them are. And the other thing is, I could see if you want to do a bodybuilding show and you've never done a show, or you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do one and now I'm retired and I get the time to do it. Yeah, I got it. But if you're one of these guys that have been competing and you just can't stop and you're like, okay, well, I can get my pro card now after the age of 60, and you just like a John, like I said, I'm not shitting on John Hansen. John Hansen's reputation is solid in the bodybuilding community. Everybody loves John Hansen. I've never heard a bad thing about him. I get it, but he's one of those guys that just can't seem to give it up, And
I was wondering about that, man. Like, do you think? Like, I always wonder, like, what's the payoff versus what's the negative? It's like maybe if John Hansen stopped competing in bodybuilding and stopped training, like maybe his life would like fall apart, because that adds that structure to his life. So just like, keeping the competition there is the motivating factor. And
very
like
true,
Kenson said, he's probably actually not using a lot. I don't think he's using a lot because he was the Masters Olympia, the natural Olympia guy. If
you need bodybuilding to give you structure throughout life, then you have a problem. You have an issue because you should be able to structure your life yourself. and not rely on an outside variable to structure it for you. You know who does things like that? Usually former drug addicts, former alcoholics need some kind of other structure to give them structure in life. You know, they either go to God. We've known plenty of people that were former, recreational drug users that are now into bodybuilding because it gives them structure. But if you are a grounded, sounded individual with a head on your shoulders, you should not need something else to give you structure in life.
And I think a lot of people
I don't think bodybuilders claim to be grounded or sounded individuals at all. So yeah, sounds like everybody's right at home.
It's also I'm also speaking from my reality. And so what I mean by that is I was able to structure my life myself. I came from a very grounded, structured family background. I didn't need something to give me structure. I didn't need, with something like, for example, I had a father figure in my life. I didn't need to search out for another father figure. I had family. I had traditional values. I didn't need something to replace that to give me structure. And if you have not dealt with that by the time you're 40, 45, and you're still searching, that's just not a good way to go through life. Put it that way.
I think a lot of people are, though. You know what I mean?
Because that means,
especially in bodybuilding,
that means you're a house of cards. That's what that means. And one thing falls and everything falls apart. Yeah. Because as a man, you should be giving the structure, if that makes sense. Like Kenson is the perfect example. He gives his structure to his family. He's a leader. He's a father.
Yeah.
He's a husband. That's who he gives his structure to. As a 49-year-old man, 50-something-year-old man, you should be not looking for outside sources for structure. You should be delivering it. You should be structuring your life and the people around you and your family around you.
It's not necessarily that for John. It just might be he just might love it and just be like, oh, it gives me more joy than whatever it may be a negative impact. Like, I got to be honest, like when I was younger and I prepped, the preps were hard. Like it was like, it controls your life for that period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when I was older and I did my last couple of comps, like I looked better and I felt like I trained. Maybe it's just that I was training too hard. Like, not many people would think train too hard, but when you've got that mindset and you're just like locked in and you never have a day off and you're doing a whole prep and you just don't stop, I think sometimes that can be a negative. So my last preps, I didn't train, I left a few sets with a bit in the bank and I just looked so much better and it didn't control my life. I was almost like just more energetic. Like I'd sleep like, 6 to 7 hours and I'd be like that all day, like, yeah, I'd do my 45 minutes of cardio in the morning, but that'd be at like, 5:30 a.m. or something, before everyone's even up. So
yeah, and maybe it's me. Maybe I had a very easy way to transition. Maybe I was able to transition, and most people and a lot of people can't. Like a transition my energy into something else that revolved around bodybuilding. Maybe that could very well be. Maybe some people can't change their identity and be like, okay, well, I am not that anymore. I am now this. But it's kind of sad when you can't, and you are now old, and you can't make that transition. You're gonna die on that hill, and it's not gonna be fulfillment.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that can't make the transition. We've seen that.
Because you're just gonna chase and chase and chase and chase and chase and chase. Especially when your best days are around you. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm not a big fan of the over 50 Masters Nationals. I'm not saying to stop it. Anybody could do whatever they want. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't understand the need for it. I don't understand the guys that want to do it at that age, unless it's their first show and they want to see how they do at a bodybuilding show. Then I could kind of get it, like a bucket list kind of thing. But
I don't think it's that crazy. It depends on the person. Like there are those outliers that will smash gear, they do their old cycles and they're like, 58 years old. It's like, that's not healthy. But like my dad did a 50s plus comp. It was like the nationals came to like Tasmania, and he's like, oh, may as well do a prep because he's training hard and, wanting to be not huge, but like, enough muscle because he used to train back in the day and was probably sitting on 220 pounds or something. And he competed and got like, I think 3rd or 4th or something like that. But he enjoyed it. Like it seemed like it lit him up and it just kept him in that lifestyle, for continuously. And he still trains today, and is much healthier for doing it, I think. But like, it's not like he was, if someone's doing replacement dose of test or a little bit more, it's like, it's not really going to be that detrimental at someone who's, 51 years old.
Well, listen, I get it. And it was a one and done. Then I get it. Yeah, then I get it. It's a bucket list. You want to give it a shot. I just get it.
Yeah, I think it definitely has its place more so than you might be considering, to be honest with you, John. I think
it could very well be. Yeah, it could very well.
Yeah, and I really think so, dude. I won't be surprised if 50 round like, well, build my little empire around myself. I don't really need to push that hard at anything else anymore. I mean, maybe it'll be the time for me. Who knows, man? Who knows? I wouldn't rule it out at this point, in my life. Couldn't do it now. Fuck no. Not a chance. Too much going on. But I mean,
yeah.
If I retire, say mid-50s or something like that, I don't know, man. Who knows?
Yeah, look, right, exactly. Whatever. To each his own.
I'll do the over 50s, and you can do the over 70s. See?
Yeah. No, thanks. I'm not even doing an over 40.
Come on,
forget it. It's a wrap.
Come on.
Hey, Kenton, you'll be one of those multimillionaires that's doing it that you talk about in the Masters. That'll be you. 100%.
Working on it. We'll see what happens.
Australia. Yeah, I John Hansen didn't have to get a pro card, in my opinion, in order for his story to be solidified in bodybuilding. It was already solidified as far as I'm concerned.
Well, how long did he go without competing?
Say that again?
How long did he go without competing? Like, hasn't he always competed steadily?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah, okay. So the guy just loves to compete.
Yeah. No, I get it.
He's like just like Bob Chick. Like, it took him 20 years to get a pro card.
Yeah. No,
I think there should be a difference between Masters pro cards and then normal pro cards. I think like I don't think a Masters.
I mean, there is.
Without saying it, there is. Yeah, without saying it, there is. Like, right.
There is.
Right.
Yeah. John Hansen's not going to jump into the fucking New York Pro next year. You know what I mean?
But there's been a couple of decent guys that have got it now, and now they've got 35 plus. 35 plus opens it up. Like, I'm Masters, which blows my mind.
Oh, me too. Phil Clayhall.
What?
Phil Clahar won, I think, the over 35 Masters or something like that. And he went on to be a great bodybuilder. Yeah, no, listen, at that age, I get it. Fully get it. But I
just don't want to see the average Masters guy jumping in a normal open show.
Right.
I don't want a 50 plus guy go, oh, yeah, I'm jumping the New York Pro for just because they that way inclined, like, to do something weird like that.
Dave Palumbo is another one. He never got his pro card, and his bodybuilding career is legendary. And he transitioned into RX Muscle and to Species Nutrition, and he's become one of the biggest YouTube bodybuilding YouTubers that we know. So I don't look at John Hansen's pro card victory as solidifying anything. To me, him as a bodybuilder and a pillar in the bodybuilding community was already solidified. Like, he was already respected. He was already, maybe it's me. I don't know. Or maybe I just don't put a lot of value into pro cards after a certain point.
I mean, the pro card used to be very different. I remember like how many pros there were in Australia back in the day across like all the divisions. For figure, like there's like one figure girl that was pro in Australia. There was like 3 open bodybuilders. There was like, very few of any class, like a fitness girl. And it was like, if you were pro, like, it's like people would look at you like, oh, it's, there's an Australian guy, Con Demetriou, Lee Priest. People would point at them and be like, oh, it's Lee Priest or whatever. And you'd be like, holy crap, they're a pro. And Luke Wood back in the day, you'd see him at Nationals just walking around, and it's like there's a mystique there. And now it's like everyone's a pro. Yeah,
Dane, I was actually responding to Robert Robert said the John Hanson Pro Card is one of the most beautiful story bodybuilding is, and that's what I mean. That's what I was responding to. He's been competing since he's a kid. Yeah, I know, and that's what I mean by that is his reputation in bodybuilding was already solidified before 2 weeks ago when he got his pro card. I don't think getting his pro card, what made him any better of a pillar in the bodybuilding community than he already is. That's what I was trying.
I don't think he did it for. I don't think he did it for me, you, or anyone else, though, man. I really don't.
You're
just did it for himself.
Right. Yeah, no, I
he doesn't give he doesn't give a shit what he honestly probably thinks about it. I mean,
you're right. Yeah, no,
the guy wanted his fucking pro card. He went and got it.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's when you compete for a bodybuilding contest, again, everything else comes second, and it gets to a point in your life where you shouldn't be putting yourself first anymore. I mean, you should put yourself first, but not distance everybody in your life and your family and your friends at that age anymore. I mean, I don't know if anybody has competed. I mean, I know you have, Xavier, but when I competed, it was like I went into a fucking cave,
Yeah, but the last 2 times I prepped, I didn't. Like, I really like. Yeah, I mean, I know, like, I went to like what would you call it, like a theme park or whatever. Like that was like a week out, and I was dragging ass then. But I went with the family, so I smiled, like Sean Roden thing, like smile and wave, like I was like playing the part, but I was dead inside at that point.
Right,
but like up until like 2 weeks out, because my prep was only like 10 weeks or something. So it's
I didn't have to.
Not a long prep, and I'm like up until 4 weeks out, then it's starting to hit you now a bit, and then you might just be a bit wrecked. But then it's the last 2.5 weeks maybe that I struggle a bit, but it's not that bad. Like, I felt like I was actually more energized throughout the first part of the prep. That like, what prep I actually make more money. Like, it's weird.
I believe me. I thought about it. Yeah, I'm not doing it, but I've thought about it. Here's another thing.
Think about all the life experience at that point too, though. Think about it, right? If you're 60 years old, right, all the life experience that you have as well is something that you can carry over into a competition type scenario. His wife is probably like your significant other or whatever, your kids, you go to them, they may want to support you on it as well, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be selfish.
Yeah,
so
that's what Dave's saying.
There's that factor as well. But life is already, you're 60, John. I mean, even you're 48. You know what it's like. Life can beat you down, right? And after a while, you take so many beatings and you start dealing with beatings pretty decently, right? In order to just keep soldiering on. You have that under your belt so many times at 60. It's probably something where you created an amount of resilience just as a person, which may serve you well when it comes to a bodybuilding prep.
Yeah, absolutely. No, a bodybuilding structure early on, a bodybuilding lifestyle early on could serve as, you learning discipline to put in other aspects of life.
It could be the opposite of what I'm saying, though. Life could have created that discipline, so now you have it and you can put it into bodybuilding. It doesn't always have to be bodybuilding creates discipline, right? It doesn't have to be like that.
Okay.
I have adapted a large amount of discipline incrementally over the last 11 years of what I've been doing owning this company, and then put on top of that YouTube. Okay, I need to organize my time even better. Right. You create these things just as a person. Perhaps it could serve you well, and you could bring your best at just by your life experience at that age. Realistically, knowing where you're competing and who you're competing against.
Right. I guess what it comes down to, fortunately, is every person that's on that stage, I guess, probably has a little bit of a different story. My experience when I was bodybuilding, and maybe that's my problem, is that I'm relating my experience to theirs. And my experience when I was competing was I isolated myself from everything, and all I was concentrating on was that contest. I wasn't going to go in there half-assed. I want every bodybuilding show I ever went into, I went in there to win. I wanted to win. That
How many shows did you do, John?
4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and every show that I wanted to do was to win. And it was at, Also, that's what I wanted to say to you, Xavier. Did you have to low carb it? Because I'm the kind of guy that I really needed to low carb, and then I would have to cycle carbs at the same time, and it would fucking kill me. I mean, I remember being on probably at one point. I mean, I was on almost no carbs at one point to try and get lean because I have a tendency to gain body fat if I'm not strict, you know. And if that also could be a factor too, where because I had to do no carbs and I was up to 45 minutes of cardio plus 2 hours of training 6 days a week, you know. Was that your experience, or that you were able to take in carbs and have it get in shape?
My first preps, I had to struggle. I'd do like just a very sort of generic, just low carb diet, you know what I mean? Like 100 grams of carbs a day, but I'd sort of run that through most of the diet. That's like the early years. But then I started to sort of figure it out along the way. So I sort of figured out, okay, like me doing high fats and protein in the morning, I feel better, the more stable energy. So depending on the day, like if I was training that day, I'd do like maybe just fats in the morning, and then I'd start to introduce carbs, maybe 40 grams of carbs a meal, something like that, and do about 6-7 meals a day. And then on non-training days, I would just go high fats all through the day, and then my last meal would be carbs. So it was like sort of like a carb backload without the training, just a bit of cardio that morning. And I just found that kept my hunger levels pretty good. And I just drink like hot tea between meals, and it's like I just didn't struggle. Like, and I think because I wanted to keep busy, to keep my mind distracted, I'm like, okay, I've got 2 hours before my next meal. I'll get a tea, sit down. How much can I get done in 2 hours? And I just felt like I was locked in like that, because if I just sit around, but I'm looking at the clock. So I'm like, it just motivated me to be more locked in on everything else in life. So I was like, and I'd even like when I'd have my kids, because I did one prep while I had my kids, or part of the prep anyway. And it was like, I would be like, okay, I'm spending time with my kids, and I'd just be locked in on that. So it'd be like, I was more disciplined in all those areas. So I'm like, okay, concentrated time with my kids, on my phone's away.
And you wouldn't get grumpy? I was a grumpy motherfucker when I was, especially I would say especially the last 3 or 4 weeks before a contest, when I was having almost no carbs. I would always
snap at my dog. I'd always feel bad. I'd snap at my dog over my kids, you know? So I'd be like, oh, Bron, get out of the way. Like, I'd feel bad.
I would do 2 days. This is my carb cycle. So it was like 3 weeks before the show. I remember I would do 2 days protein and vegetables, then 2 days protein and fats, and then 2 days protein and carbs, and rotate the whole thing all over again.
Oh, when you pull those carbs out, even when you're having the carbs, I bet your body craves more. So it's like, because you get
and it wasn't fulfilling. Even when I ate those carbs, it wasn't fulfilling. You know, it wasn't it was fucking. And then the worst part was when you're carb loading the week before, but now you're cutting your water. Oh, and I remember that 2 days before you're sipping on water, and the day before you're not having any water. You're like, Jesus Christ. It's like ancient Japanese torture, you know.
I used to what I used to love when I used to prep, I used to do like a really low carb day on like a Saturday. So I'd train him first thing in the morning, then I would, in the afternoon, I'd do like a hit session of cardio on the bike, and then that night I'd have a cheat meal. But it wouldn't be like crazy dirty food. It'd be like, a couple of burgers, but sort of like cleaner, nice burgers, like with like proper meat in there, and then do maybe like an ice cream or something. So that'd be my cheat meal. But all like the veins would just, because I'd train arms that day. So I feel like all the vascularity would just go to my arms and my legs. And I just feel like it just felt good, because I feel like I wasn't overfilling. So I'd do so much that day in terms of training. And that was like my refeed. I did one day during a week where I do slightly higher carbs, but I found if I did too high of a random like carb cycling or high carb days, it would just make me crave so bad all the time. Like my cravings were just bad.
Yeah.
And I just feel hungrier,
And this made it even worse. Picture exactly what I said I was doing. Plus, I was using, Tren. And then the last 2 weeks of the contest, I was using halotestin. And you want to talk about irritable and fucking nasty? Holy shit. I don't know how my wife didn't fucking leave me. Like I was especially when I put into halotestin. You know what I mean? It made a difference physically, but man, mentally, I was a fucking just a son of a bitch.
I'd never, yeah, like I've never like touched anything too crazy, you know. So like, and just amounts of anything have always been low, you know. So it's like I think
that was the last contest I did. Like that was the Brooklyn Grand Prix, and I remember the last month was when I kicked in Tren, Masteron. I was still using Test. I was using Tyrannobol, Growth, and then I kicked in fucking Halotestin, and I just the Halotestin just made me just a prick. I was so fucking irritable all the time. In the middle of the night, I'd be nasty. You know, it would be ridiculous.
It's crazy how pros, like some pros literally don't use certain compounds because it makes what it does to their head. You know, they're like, they know they could maybe be better if they used more Tren or more, you know, if they use Halo or whatever. And it's like, but they just don't use it because they're like, it makes me a nutcase. Like, but I appreciate those guys that are self-aware enough to recognize that and be like, hey, this isn't good for me. It wrecks my life and it's not worth it for the stage, you know? So
just thinking about that last prep I did fucking 12 years ago, whatever it was. I'm just thinking about that is making me fucking like, I never want to do that fucking shit again. You know? But anyway, before we go, let's touch on a couple of things that, it's cause some news. Okay. So Sam Sulek signs with Gymshark. Great. You give a millionaire another $1 million. Wonderful.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. What does Sam Sulek have that I don't have? I don't get it. I have a better personality than him. I understand that I smell much better from what I gather. So I've heard rumors that Sam Sulek is a smelly guy.
It doesn't surprise me by the hat.
yeah, he wears the same hat every day. You know, bastard. Fuck. I get a sponsor for a couple $100. I'm like, whoa, I'm sure this prick is making fucking tons of money. No, good for him.
I can't be sad for him though. I can't be sad for him because he just seems like a nice guy. And did you guys watch that video? Did you watch the full video?
Of which one?
No, I didn't watch the full video. No, I saw that he said he was going to compete at the Arnold and stuff like that. But
can you guys please watch a little bit of that?
All right. Why? What? Tell me what happens. Like, cause you're piquing my interest, but you got to tell me what happens.
Well, he there's a guy that's training with C-Bum and Sam in C-Bum's gym, and he's like a influencer, like with Gymshark, and he's a natural guy. Man, like he was probably one of the more annoying people on camera. No offense to him. He might be a nice guy. He did a cool magic trick at the end, which I was like, why are they playing cards? And everyone's like, it actually was pretty impressive in the end. I was like, oh, okay. But while I was watching it, I'm like, what is this? And this guy was getting roasted in the comments that was trading with them. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, I think you just got to watch it. I think he's like incredibly popular, one of the signed guys, but his Gymshark shirt was like a size small. And C-Bum even said that and like sort of clowned him on it a little bit. It was just
David Lade, is that it?
Is that
David Lade, yeah.
He's a fucking
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's another influencer with ridiculous amount of followers and ridiculous amount of cash, and that's what Gymshark is essentially, you know?
Yeah.
If you've got the money, then and you've got the physique, then you're in, dude, you know? Look, good for Sam. I'd go and get Gymshark. Well, they were talking about Raw Energy. I would go and get that too. I would get as many sponsors as I possibly could
100%,
while I could do it.
Absolutely. All I'm saying is I don't see what Sam Sulek has over me besides youth. Other than that, I don't fucking
2 million subscribers.
Yeah, a lot of fucking followers. That's for damn sure. He's got that over all of us.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's only 1.95 million.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. No, look, Sam has always been very like. I've always seen Sam as very genuine, and even still, I think that he's pretty genuine. You know, I've got no issue with Sam. It doesn't really always a pro now. If he really gains that physique, then it's someone that I would start speaking about more so because of the fact that he could be competitive at a high level in the pro league. But other than that, really doesn't come on my radar. Good for him, man. I'm happy for him, and I hope that he continues to get better in competitions as well.
100%, man. You know, I mean, I'm busting balls, but he is from what I understand, he is a good dude. He's a nice guy, and he sticks to himself and doesn't cause any trouble. If anybody deserves it, it's him. And I actually gained a lot more respect for him since he got his pro card.
Yeah,
Sure.
Really did, gained a lot more because he's not just an influencer that just, just trains in the gym and that's it, right? He actually put his money where his mouth is, and it fucking worked. So,
and
how
he's
will
going
he
to
do it,
compete.
Arnold? Do you think? Can he do anything there in terms of cracking?
I don't know because I don't know what he's going to look like. It
don't know.
depends. If he could put on, if he's got to put on the muscle in the right spots, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Or the
I don't know
Arnold,
that circuit. Like, I don't know who's he going to be standing next to. I have no idea.
the Arnold and classic physique it's going to be stacked. It's stacked every year in the classic physique. I'm assuming he's
How many call outs is there normally? There's only normally like 12 guys maybe in that show,
Yeah.
So he might be like, if there's 3 call outs, maybe he could get in that second call out. I just can't imagine he'll be like top 4 or 5.
Well, those
when you got Logan Franklin's and Ramon Dino sort of
Exactly.
guys,
Not
there,
gonna
Mike
happen.
Summerfield, it's like
right.
Then he's a ways off there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I probably would have.
Good on him for doing it.
I look. He gets I'm pretty sure he gets the invite to do it because he won the show, right? So I mean, I don't blame him for doing it, but I would do others. Like I would jump in like a New York Pro, or I would jump in a fucking, a Tampa or a smaller show and see if you could see how he does. But we're gonna see how he is on the radar on the with the big boys at the Arnold, and it's sink or swim, man. That's for sure.
I have a feeling he's gonna get big in this year though, because he's got that motivating factor of he's going for a pro card. He's like, oh, I'm gonna do my first contest, but I think he has that extra like, okay, I've got to step it up now. So I think we're gonna see some good gains, but I think it's not gonna be enough to be.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs a couple of years before.
Couple of years. Yep.
I think
good on him though.
Going to be really, really competitive. But yeah, man, you can't really, kudos to him because, like I said, there are influences out there that are complete fucking hand jobs, and he proved at the beginning when he first came out and he was drinking chocolate milk and eating cereal. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing, right? But when he made that transition, he made that 180, and he learned how to really be a bodybuilder, and he got on stage and won, qualified, and got his pro card. You got to give him his props, man. You got to give him his respect.
Yeah, and he's learned as well. He even says that, like he
Absolutely.
was talking with C-Bum about his training, and he said, oh, the last, however many months or like 18 months or whatever, he said, his injuries have gone down to basically like, 0 compared to what it was before. And then I don't know if it's a David Lade guy or C-Bum said, like, why do you think that is? And he said, it's because he's smarter with his training. He just doesn't take every set to like complete failure now, and try to do as much weight as possible. There's different ways to do it rather than just doing as much weight as possible. So I think that learning that it's going to save him probably years going on. So it sounds like he's a lot smarter and a lot wiser now. So
who is that David Lade guy? Basically, I guess he's another influencer, man, and with a big
long arms.
Yeah,
that's it. He's another influencer. Okay. I don't know, John. I kind of feel like I didn't live up to the standard of shooting the breeze because all we did is talk bodybuilding, and this show's supposed to be just bullshit.
All right, well, you know what? Let me take. Hold on. We'll talk about something else in a second. Let me take a piss. You guys continue. I'll be right back.
Okay. But I don't know. I think Sam Sulek will be in I think the achievement for him at the Arnold would be in the 5 to 9th range if there's like 12 guys, if he beat out like 3 guys in an Arnold lineup. I think that'd be a win for Sam.
I think it would too. I think that would be, with his current physique, that would be plenty. Well, current physique, better conditioning, that would be plenty of a victory for Sam Sulek without question.
It's interesting. Dane says, "What's up, Xavier? How's things? Things are good. Things are good. Thank you." But yeah, what else is happening? Did you see the judging controversy? I think you posted it in the group.
With Bo Lewis.
Yeah.
I was talking to Bo about that. He was like, "I'm about to go on vacation." And I was like, "Well, I don't know about that. According to this, you're qualified for the Olympia." So he really didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, "You got to contact like Steve Weinberger or some shit, man. Like, what is happening right now?" Well, there was 2 things that were really unfolding with that. One is that Bo was there like, well, and I was like, would you change your vacation plans, obviously, kind of thing, if you were qualified for the Olympia? He's like, yeah. So that was one thing. But this other guy's walking around being like, I'm qualified for the Olympia. My family's here and everybody's so happy. And look, even if there was a mistake at this point, they're not gonna change it. Like, they're not going to. So it's I think it was just a mistake, though. When I objectively looked at the comparisons, I can understand why Bo got second. The other guy, Frankie Mercado, I think his name was, he was better conditioned and he had bigger legs and he had more detail from the back. So that's why he won. That's why I could see him winning.
I'll say the one thing about Frankie that was slightly off-putting. Like, if we're going to call out Hardy for his delts at any stage in his career, this guy's delts were like, in that front relaxed, they were like, boop. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the rest of his physique was wild. We're just talking about Bo Lewis, how he was first on the scorecard. But
yeah, that was the craziest fucking thing. First on the scorecards, and then qualified for the Olympia. Like, what the fuck is going on? He just
regardless as well, that whether we think Frankie or Bo won, it was still a split decision on the judges' scorecards by the looks of it, because it was 4-5. So whether they just messed up and put the wrong number in, and then it pushed it all out there, or what, or they just announced the wrong name on stage and thought, well, it was one vote difference. There's only one judge. Hey, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Bo is a great guy. He's a good friend. When I looked at the comparisons, I had him in second too. Bo came in chiseled. The problem is when he comes in that lean, he loses some of his legs. That's the thing. But if he wants to do another show, another 212 show, he could probably win and get to the Olympia. He's
on vacation now, bud.
On vacation. Yeah, he does that every year. Probably because he just doesn't put anybody. His wife, has to fucking be in the background, and while he's concentrating on bodybuilding, and then afterwards, Okay, last topic, since we're doing shooting the breeze, is actually I did a in the gym video of me training doing arms this week. It's out, you guys could see it, but the new Superman movie came up in conversation, right? So I didn't see it. I'm hearing like mixed reviews. Some people say they love it. Some people say that it's not really a Superman movie, that it was more like goofy because it was a Guardians of the Galaxy type of thing with introducing new DC characters. But I was saying that, Superman doesn't get his ass kicked and he's got a dog. I'm like, it sounds like he's gay. And then I realized that if you, Kenson, you got to fucking look this up, because there was a Superman comic, I think in the 60s or 70s, where Superman finds pink kryptonite and he fucking turns gay. But it's not, but it's not like full blown gay where he's with another man. He becomes very flamboyant and feminine. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I'm fucking I'm
always gonna say, like, he's not full on gay. He just enjoys getting pegged.
Like, yeah. But I'm serious. I think he does. Let me look it up, because I'm.
It says I did. It says here in the 2003 comic Supergirl number 79, Superman is exposed to pink kryptonite, which temporarily turns him gay.
Well, you said the 60s, John. This is 2003.
I might have been right. I thought it was the 60s or the 70s, but
already off by 4 decades.
Not according to this, unless there's more than one. But yeah, that's apparently what it was.
Pink.
That's funny.
Superman pink kryptonite.
Yeah, it says the storyline is part of an alternate Earth 1 timeline, and is often referenced in discussions about Superman's sexuality. I mean, I don't know, man. I haven't seen the new Superman movie, but from the number of Superman movies that I have seen, like especially the old school ones, dude, I love the fucking old school ones, like the late 90s and shit. They were wicked, man.
Yeah, I love cool. I love the Christopher Reeve ones. But even the Henry Cavill Superman was fantastic, man. I thought he.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I heard a story about him because. Oh wait, I might have. How many did Henry Cavill do? Did he do multiple?
Yeah, because he was in Justice League as Superman, and
oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
But you never saw the Man of Steel one.
What year was that? Like,
I don't know, 2000 what? 14, 13, no, 15, 16, something like that.
I might have seen that then. Yeah, I might have seen that one.
That was really good. That's when Kevin Costner was his father, and Diane Lane was his mom. Man.
You know what? Maybe I haven't seen that, actually, to be honest.
Dude, 2013.
Oh, maybe, yeah. It's long enough ago that I could have forgotten seeing it.
No, dude,
If I just saw it, I would just.
And it was, and there's and I forgot what it was, 1980, I think, or 81. There's Superman 2, right? And in Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve, he gives up his powers for Lois Lane. He decides he wants to be in love. He wants to marry Lois Lane and live his life as a human. And he gives up his powers, but then what happens, the villains are taken over and nobody could find Superman because he's not around anymore. And there's this scene where fucking Superman goes into a diner as a regular human because he gave up his powers. And this guy, this bully in this diner beats the shit out of Superman, but he's really Clark Kent now, and he's like, oh shit, man. He's like looking at his face. He's like blood. He never saw blood before. He's like, oh my God, I'm bleeding. And then he goes and he gets his powers back because he's got to save the world. But then after he saves the world, he goes back to that fucking diner. I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. And gives this guy, his name was Rocky in the I'm pretty sure his name is Ra the bully. Goes back to the diner, and this time he's fucking Superman and gives him a fucking beating.
Can I ask a question though? Is Superman still going into phone booths and turning into Superman?
No, unfortunately, as a matter of fact, in the 1978 version, they make fun of that because the phone booths went from, in the 70s, the phone booths went from full phone booths like from the 50s, and then the phone booths, the payphones were half, like you just stepped into like a half fucking shell.
Yeah, so it wasn't closed. Yeah,
it wasn't closed in. And then he just looks at it like, what am I going to do? And then he goes into like a door and spins around. And then they had
okay.
Yeah, and then they had the typical. It was the 70s in supposed to be Metropolis, which is New York City. They had your stereotypical pimp when he finally comes up as Superman, and there's a black guy with all his girls, and he says, "Hey, man, that's a bad outfit."
I feel like I've seen that.
That one I haven't seen.
I swear to God, dude, it's fucking great. Because the best part about the original Superman is Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Because he's hilarious.
I agree.
He's hilarious because I actually put it on my Facebook where he lives underneath in the sewer, underneath the train tracks in New York City, and he has this elaborate, beautiful apartment underneath the subway system. And Superman, has to go there to get him. And he breaks the door down. He's got the steel door, breaks the door down, and he says, my attorney will be contacting you about the damage to my door.
Which ones was Kevin Spacey, the Lex Luthor?
Oh, that was the shitty one. That was the one with.
He was not a good Lex Luthor,
was horrible,
he? Was
dude. Horrible. The thing is, if you only give the villain a limited amount of time, then it's like.
No, he was bad.
It was terrible. It was awful. But here's the thing. In Man of Steel, you didn't have Lex Luthor. You only had like little Easter eggs of Lex Luthor. So in Man of Steel, you had his Earth father, John Kent, was Kevin Costner. Martha Kent, his mother, was Diane Lane, but Jor-El, his father, was Russell Crowe. And you have to understand. Yeah, you have to understand how significant that is, because in '78 with the Christopher Reeve one, Jor-El, which was his Krypton father, was Marlon Brando. So and Marlon Brando back in 1978 when they made the movie, it was released in '78. It was made in '76, '77. He had done Apocalypse Now. He had done The Godfather, and he was back on top in Hollywood, right? So he was literally in 15 minutes of the movie. Marlon Brando, I think 15 minutes, yeah. And the original Superman, and they gave him $4 million in 1978. And it was like that was like
good.
Yeah, that was insane back then, dude. That was fucking insane. But yeah, like I'm a movie fanatic, so
I fucking love Russell Crowe movies.
Russell Crowe,
I saw Russell Crowe in Australia when I was in Sydney last time.
Did you? Can you ask him to lose some goddamn weight? What the fuck, man?
He has. He
Oh,
was
really?
leaner. Yeah. He's if you look him up, because he was leaner, and I was like, that's not Russell Crowe. But I'm like that sort of looks like Russell Crowe. And then I
That's
like
fucking
got a
Russell
photo of
Crowe.
the back
Yeah.
of him because I didn't want to be like, take a photo of his face. Like I'm like, that'd be so fucking annoying.
His last
and
few movies like have sucked balls. Like his last, like I would say, 3 or 4 movies have like literally sucked. Like he was like he was at the point where he was like this must see movie guy, with Gladiator and all these great movies. What was the one where he played the fighter? Played the boxer. I forgot.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember it.
Yeah. I mean, and then all of a sudden,
did you see the one that he did? Hold on, once Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so,
dude. That is like
good.
the best fucking Russell Crowe movie. He's the captain of a ship that's being hunted by French privateers. It's fucking wicked, man.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it well.
What's the name of the movie? What is it? Master.
Or maybe I've just seen the preview. I remember that haircut.
It's my favorite movie of all time, hands down.
Really?
Hands fucking down. Yes.
Okay, I gotta watch it. I see what you're saying. I gotta watch it because this was right in
Disney Plus and Prime.
This was right at his height, 2003. This is when he was like Hollywood's fucking golden boy.
It was
all right, Master and Commander. I gotta give that a shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, John. We've been on here for about an hour and 15 minutes. Thank you very much, Xavier. Thank you very much,
enjoyed it,
Kenton, for helping me fill in. I appreciate it. All the love and respect in the world, and I will see you fellas next time. Later. Peace.